Stranger Things is one of the most talked about shows of the last decade. It dominates social media, trends every time a new season drops, and constantly appears in pop culture conversations. But despite its massive success, a large number of people openly say they dislike the show or refuse to watch it at all. What's interesting is that most of the criticism comes down to just a few recurring reasons. Today, this video focuses on 5 specific reasons why Stranger Things turns people away. Stranger Things is everywhere, and for some viewers, that's the problem. The constant praise makes the show feel unavoidable rather than exciting. When people are told repeatedly that something is the best show ever, expectations become unrealistically high. Once those expectations aren't met, disappointment turns into dislike. Overhype creates pressure to enjoy the show instead of allowing organic interest. Some viewers reject Stranger Things before watching it simply to push back against the hype. The more viral the show becomes, the more resistance it generates from people who dislike mainstream trends. In this way, popularity itself becomes a reason people refuse to engage. For many people, the issue isn't the show, it's the community around it. Stranger Things has an extremely passionate fanbase that dominates online discussions. Any criticism of the show is often met with hostility or dismissal. This creates an environment where casual viewers feel unwelcome. Some fans overanalyze every detail and treat theories as facts. Others aggressively defend weak writing decisions as intentional. For outsiders, this intensity feels exhausting rather than fun. As a result, some people avoid the show entirely to avoid the fandom. Many critics feel that certain characters receive more praise than they deserve. Fan-favorite characters are often protected from serious consequences. This creates a sense of predictability in the story. When viewers know characters will survive, tension decreases. Emotional moments can feel manufactured rather than earned. Some characters are praised more for their popularity than their development. This leads to accusations of shallow writing. For critics, the emotional stakes feel weaker because the outcomes feel safe. Stranger Things heavily relies on 1980s aesthetics and pop culture references. For fans, this creates comfort and familiarity. For critics, it feels like nostalgia is doing the storytelling work. The bikes, synth music, and retro visuals dominate the experience. Some viewers feel the show depends on references instead of originality. If the nostalgia doesn't resonate, the story loses impact. Younger audiences may not connect with the era at all. This leads to the belief that the show is style over substance. The early seasons of Stranger Things were simple and focused. Over time, the story expanded dramatically. More characters, locations, and concepts were introduced. The narrative became more complex and harder to follow. Some viewers felt the mystery was replaced by exposition. The emotional intimacy of the early seasons faded. The show shifted from a small-town horror story to a massive sci-fi spectacle. For some fans, this expansion diluted what made the show special. Stranger Things isn't universally hated because it failed. It's divisive because it grew too popular, too fast, and too loudly. For some viewers, these 5 issues are deal breakers. For others, they're exactly what makes the show iconic. Whether loved or hated, Stranger Things clearly leaves a strong impression.